Hello everyone, welcome to another video on SAP navigation options. Before I explain you about different navigation options which are there in SAP, I just want to give a brief overview on what is SAP. So generally in an organization we have different departments like you have human resource department, you have IT department, you have procurement department, etc., etc. In the procurement department, what are different tasks that happen? Someone creates a purchase order, someone generates a goods receipt, and invoice will be sent by the supplier, and there should be someone who will verify the invoice. So, like these are the different actions which happen in procurement department. Now, what are the different actions which happen in human resource department? In human resource department, they are responsible to employ a new person, then responsible to pay the salaries, they are responsible to terminate the employee. So like the similar way, there are different actions they do. Now, SAP is a software which will process or record these actions. So for now, please remember that. So SAP is a that is the reason SAP is called Enterprise Resource Planning Software. A department like human resources, IT, and procurement, they require a software to do their daily transactions, to record, etc., etc. They use SAP for the same. Please remember that. Now, here, this is the basic screen that you see when you log in into SAP. This area is called SAP menu. Under SAP menu, you have options for different departments. Remember that. Like, for example, logistics department can go on with these options under this, folders. Then if you come down, accounting departments can go with options under these folders, etc., etc. Please remember that for now. So, as I explained, under SAP menu, you have options to access transactions for different departments like human resource department, accounting department, logistics department, etc., etc. Now, uh, if you see, like you can see a lot of options which are present in this window. Before I start with each option, there is something that you need to remember that there is a feature in SAP called adding transaction codes as favorites. So what do I mean by this? So generally what happens is if you're somebody who working on a lot of transactions and you don't remember uh, each T code, then what you do is you can just go to favorites. You can insert a transaction and let's say ME23N, this is a T code which you use to display a purchase order. So T code is nothing but it's a transaction code, or you can remember as a code which you use to do a specific task in SAP. If I type ME3023N, I will see a purchase order. If I type ME21N in the command field, then I will see a purchase order creation form. Remember that way. So now if I click on ME23 T code, I click OK. If you see here, ME23N is added as my favorite. So next time if I want to access the ME23N, if I just don't know what to do, then I just click here and I'm directly taken to the ME23N page. Now, if I come back, there is also a feature where you can just directly insert a folder. Then I can type the folder name as T codes. Under this created folder, I can add a transaction. Now I can just come here, favorites, insert a transaction. I will say MD21N, which is to create a purchase order. See, the purchase order creation T code is been added to this folder. Now, this is one of the features that it is very useful for a consultant that you are supposed to remember. So in a basic SAP screen structure, it starts with menu bar. What are the different options which are there in menu bar? Here in the menu bar, you will see something. Here in the first line, you will see something called menu, edit, favorites, extra, system, and help. These options are called menu bar, and these options are basically different for different transaction. For example, if I just go and type ME21N, which is an option, T code to create a purchase order. See, all the options in menu bar got changed. So, in the similar way, you will see, I will talk about each option in the menu bar later. But if you come down, you will see something called enter, you will something called log off, print, find, first page. Then again, what is this? New GUI window. All these options are called standard toolbar options. Now, the standard toolbar options are again specific to the transaction code. And if I type ME21N, see, you will see some are enabled, some are disabled. So in the similar way, this will change based on the transaction code. And in the bottom, you will see something called written SAP Easy Access. This is called title bar. Now this title bar is again specific to the transaction code. Again, I will type ME21N. You can see the title bar got changed to create purchase order. So, and the bottom again, you will see some different option like other menu, create roles, down arrow, up arrow, everything. Now, these options are called application toolbar options, and these options are again specific to the transaction code. So, in all the options that I've explained, there is something you need to remember if you come here called new GUI window. If I click here, another GUI window will be opened for you to carry on any other task. Let's say I'm just doing, I just typed Migo. I'm supposed to create, this is a transaction code to create a goods receipt. Then while I was about to do it, I just remembered something. I just want to jump back. It doesn't make sense to just, to click on back. Again, I type, let's say MA21 hen. So it is just wasting my time. In that case, I just click here, new GUI window, and you have a new GI window while your old window is still there. So this is the benefit of using a new GUI window. This option is used to generate a shortcut for you on so this is one of the benefit of this option. And here you will see three options called back, exit, cancel. So if you want to go back, you can click on this. If you want to log off, you can click on this. So these options are basically used for screen navigation. At the same time, these options are, like I said, they are depend on the T code. They will change based on the transaction code. And there is something over here. If you see SAP Business Workplace, if you click here, you will see a window open like this, which has details of inbox, outbox, resubmission, etc., etc. Just think of this as your Gmail window. In your Gmail, when you log in, you have options like where you can receive emails, your option to like what are the emails got stuck up, you can send, you can see them in outbox and like everything. So the similar way, you will have a an area which is specific to a user in SAP where you can see all the emails you received and everything. Not well, like messages. You can say messages you have received in this window. Let's say I want to send an email. Okay, I just want to send email like attention. I just want to say, please be aware of system shutdown. So if you just want to inform to a user called the system is going to shut down right now, and you just want to send him a message directly so that when he log in, he will just receive this message. Who is the recipient? Let's say there is 013 is one of the user I created. Logon name, it means he's an SAP user. I just want to, just send express and send just a copy of this, and I'll click here, send. So just now, if you remember, I just sent an email to a recipient called Kamlesh, and Kamlesh, it is my outbox documents. You can see I just It just telling me that it just depicting me or just telling me that this is the message you have sent and this message sent by this user on this time, etc., etc. So this is like kind of your private window. You have details of all the let's say emails or messages you can say for now. And here if you click, you can see something called a calendar, where you can see details of a calendar, your calendar. Maybe some user can just inform you or block you, block what to say, set up a meeting and everything. So these kind of things or activity window or these kind of things can be set over here. Then again, this is a distribution list, etc., etc. This is like your private window that you can say. This is something you need to remember. Just come here, click a business workplace, and you get all the details. Now, there is something else that you are supposed to know once you come here. If you click on stop transaction, what will happen is, I'm not doing that because I don't want the transactions to hang. If you click on a transaction, what will happen is, just let's say you clicked on, yeah, you're working on purchase order creation, you just don't want it to process anymore. You can just come here, just click on stop transaction. You will be returned back to the SAP menu screen. Now, if you come here, you will see something called business workplace, which is same as the business workplace that I spoke about right now, which is your private window where you can receive the messages, send messages, and everything. Um, then in the menu, you'll see something called create role. So create role is nothing but it is like when you create a new user and you want to assign an authorization to him, you could just come here, create role, which is creating an authorization to assign to the user. Because let's say there is a new person who is just joined the procurement department. He's just responsible to create purchase orders and all. You don't want him to do anything with the system. So when you create a authorization to him, you'll create an authorization which will have just transaction codes to create and display purchase orders. So how to do that is, let's say SU01 um, test 014. Let me create a user test 014 and I'll just give him a title. Uh, let's I'll type Kalpana. Maybe the user is Miss Kalpana. And then I need to give a password to her. I'm just giving a password to her user ID. Then I come to SNC. This is not needed and defaults. Here it will talk about what is the date format and everything. What is the time zone it's supposed to operate? What should be the logon language? I can set the logon language of probably Kalpana as German for now. And here, if you come here, there's something called role. Role is nothing but the authorization I'm talking about. I'm not assigning any authorization for now because if I just want to show you what will happen when I, you know, click on a transaction, but the transaction code is not assigned to the user, and what kind of error messages will you will get. Everything I'll show you now. So here, if you see, I'm not assigning any role, so we are good. I'll just click on save. When I click on save, you can see the test 014 user is created. Now I'll just log off and log in into my original user. If you see, I logged in into the new user test 014, and if you remember, I said the login language is German. That's the reason the SAP menu is everything is in German. Now I will go and just give type some transaction, maybe ME23N. See, oh, it is written in German, but then it says that you are not authorized to use uh, this transaction ME23N. So what I'll do is I will log off now. So I logged into my user, and if I just go here and I will create a role that I'm talking about, maybe display PO. It is a single role. Okay, it is not accepting. Maybe display PO, type single role. I just type display PO again. I'm just saving the role. I come here. I just give same, just an authorization for this transaction alone. Assign transactions. If you see, only display purchase order transaction assigned to this role. Then I come to workflow, then assign a workflow task and task. Mm, Then just giving him authorization to do backups as well. Then I just save, come back. You can see the window indication is turned to green. It means that everything is fine in this window. Then I come to authorizations. There should be a profile name which should be assigned. I'm just asking system to assign it, so everything is fine here. Now I just come here. Okay. Now there is something we are supposed to do is um, if we click on, we need to save this. Um, Here we need to choose for which organization levels or which purchase organization data this user is supposed to access. I'm just selecting one ID as randomly and I'm just creating a profile which you are supposed to do always. Profile got created, then I come back. Here I'm supposed to assign the user. Then what I'll do is test 014. You can say Kalpana. Um, and I just save. It is asked to comparison with the users. I said no need to compare, just complete the comparison, save it. Uh, to save. So it is already saved. Now if you can see for the user SU test 014, I just given the authorization to just display a purchase order. Now what I'll do is I'll log off. I will log in again as this user. See if you can see, this is, of course, I forgot to change the profile, but then in this, the user profile, you can see purchase order. Only the option to display purchase order is appearing here. So this is how we change or manage the user profile. So as you see, we have uh, created roles and assigned the roles to the user Kalpana. So this is one of the significance of this create role option. So under system, there are other options like quick viewer. Like I said, quick viewer is nothing but it's an option where you can create tables or generate report. No, not tables. It is used to generate reports. And here for jobs, you can create your own jobs and see how the jobs are running, etc., etc. Here, if you come to batch input, not batch input, if you come to, there is an option I want to show, which is reporting. In the reporting, you have option to execute program, which is nothing but an ABAP window.